What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, sporting in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is Buff Set, please. Also known as Superafim. Thank you for the 17 months, Guido, just ruining my intro like that. He's today in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Ulysses, and the map is Tundra. Yes, we got a Zeus versus Set game here, and not any Zeus. This is one of the best, if not the best, Zeus players currently playing Age of Mythology in Ulysses. He is a very, very technical Zeus player, super aggressive. He's one of those, I talk about the two types of Greek players, especially two types of Zeus players. He is one of the more aggressive types, and I'm excited to see how he's going to be able to manage with Buff Set, please, here, as the Catastrophes are scouting around trying to find the priest. Priest is grabbing an Auroch here. My experience playing Set here against Zeus is basically tells me, just send the priest out. If you get spotted, oh well, find yourself some aggressive animals and just start converting. Because if he spots it, he's going to bolt it. If he doesn't spot it, you're going to get an aggressive animal, and then you can defend the priest for later. You do see one Auroch does come through here. Ulysses is just about to see the priest. There he is, ooming away. The priest tries to run, but he does get spotted here. No bolt. There's the bolt getting dropped down for Ulysses. So bolt off the table. Animals are set off the table as well for Mr. Buff Set, please. But he does manage to get himself one Auroch. Not that it's the biggest thing here on this specific map. Now, Tundra is a unique map in the sense that most maps in Age of Mythology only have one lot of hunt in their main base. Tundra has two. This is the biggest difference with Tundra than every other map. So you get yourself either Aurochs and Caribou or Elk and Caribou, right? And what does this mean? Well, it basically means that your early game is sorted. You shouldn't have any troubles early game with hunt, with advancing to the second age efficiently. Should just be able to make it work and enjoy the game. So Set losing out on this animal conversion does not really matter. He's still going to have a great time here. That being said, Zeus is one of those gods that personally I find very challenging to beat as Set. So we'll see if Buff Set, please, has got any spicy ideas here against Ulysses. Ulysses is Zeus here, or if Ulysses is Zeus here, is going to show us the way forward for the Zeus players. So we'll see how it ends up going. Generally speaking, I think that Zeus likes to go for a fast second town center here, though more and more we start seeing Set players doing some funky openings. So I think there is some opportunity for metagaming here. Things like delayed second town center as an idea, going for some Hermes centaur to kick things off into a second town center. Some weird stuff. Reason why Hermes centaur might be good is because you can run around and snipe some villagers. The Set players generally don't like getting themselves excess gold. They want to get themselves a strict amount of gold, 500 gold to the classical, to the heroic age, nothing more, because they don't want to get pickaxe. They don't want to invest in those sort of resources. So there are some options to go for there for Zeus players to try in this matchup. We see Dar coming through. We don't see any priests coming out of the temple here. 5 villagers on gold for the time being. This is starting to look like a bit of a classical fight here from our Set player Superafim. How do I know this? Well, only 5 villagers on gold, but more importantly, 2 villagers on wood. This is something you can really use to your advantage here, because if a Set player wants to just get themselves pickaxe and that's it, probably better off just chopping the straggler tundra tree and not building a lumber camp. Probably better off doing that. But instead, we see this up and we will be seeing a barracks. Now, what Ulysses should be doing with this Catastrophes around about the 4-minute mark is scouting out the gold mine and seeing how many villagers are on gold. That's going to tell him what sort of a strategy is coming for him here. But instead, he's already committed into whatever strategy he's going for here, so to speak. He's actually got a lot of villagers on the temple here, and he is actually going for centaur. So we see what I said we potentially could see, but generally don't. Is going to be the centaurs for Ulysses to kick things off, and he sees the barracks is up as Superafim at this point, he's starting to build Spearmen. And guess what? Get picked off really, really quickly against Centaur? Spearmen do. Centaur are really good against those as the Pharaoh going to come through. And not only that, Pharaoh also misses those Centaur. And not only does the Pharaoh miss the Centaur, but also the priest miss the Centaur as well. So this is going to be a big, big challenge here for... as we do see a villager gets picked off. Nice find there from Superafim. Probably no excuses to be losing a villager on that position there, but a little bit of micro coming through for Ulysses, as Ulysses is going to say, I got to get some revenge fire here while these units are searching around. We do see a stable coming through as well. As the army starts moving in, the Pharaoh going to get targeted down. Centaur retreats back ever so slightly here. More priests are coming out to cause some problems here. And as that's the case, you do have to micro this well if your name is Ulysses, trying to take out that Pharaoh, still at 25 HP. And with the priest out, can heal that one up here, as Ulysses now says, time to retreat back. Stable is up for Ulysses, as he kind of has to go for that. So the priest does start pushing forward. And the Jason will get sniped down here. This is a good start here for Superafim. He's picked off one. He's picked off one villager. He's picked off one of the... Oh, that's disgusting! That's disgusting! The Jason had no HP, but he still managed to pick off an Odysses and 2 Centaur at full HP with shifting sands. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's absolutely insane. As the Centaur do get sniped down, and this slows Ulysses down so much here. Ulysses is going to be kicking himself for having those Centaur and the heroes together, as losing those Centaur it just puts him so far behind, as now Superafim trying to get a little bit of pressure here into this forward position. Archery range coming up as well. As the heroes are back out for Ulysses. This also puts Ulysses' economy even further behind here, because not just one Jason and Odysseus, which cancels out about 2 villages, but... Or 2 villages? Yeah, around about 2 villages, but 2 of them means he's lost 4 villages, plus the dead villager that came in the early raids there as well. As Ulysses moving forward, he's got to be careful not to run around the map with that Centaur pole mark, because now he's moving at 5.5 speed, which those priests can start hitting the Centaur and take them down very, very easily there. As the Toxotes coming out, we do see the hyena getting cleaned up there as well. Town center for Superafim will end up completing as he grabs that 4-1. He gets map control, so to speak. And where is the villagers are still eating hunt here. So Ulysses has to figure out where to go to next. With this town center getting grabbed, you can't really go to these caribou. You can't really come around here. And we see Superafim grabbing Aurochs on this position here, which is going to be a big, big help for him. And he could potentially also start taking like Aurochs down the bottom of the map and causing more problems for Ulysses as Ulysses starts to move forward. He does have the hyenas of set over here. And with Superafim being 2 town centers at this moment, what can Ulysses really do is the big question. He does decide to go for this caribou anyway, just outside of range of this town center here, sending a lot of villagers over there. So we'll see if Superafim can catch him out here. As Superafim is still building those spearmen and the slingers. I wouldn't mind seeing a whole bunch more priests getting built here. Nice micro there from Ulysses. Good micro from Superafim though to try and take out those Toxotes. But with the Ulysses micro to return there, to retreat back, he almost finds an advantage there against those slingers, but does decide against taking that fight in too big of a way there. As the villagers finishing up over here, they can come over and grab these elk here. An interesting option here from Superafim would be to just grab this town center as well, grabbing both of Ulysses's forward town centers here, but it looks like he's going for this one instead. As Ulysses here gets himself up a barracks. And I imagine his idea here is to just go full pop with a whole bunch of hoplites coming out here, given that Superafim doesn't have himself axeman out at this point, and being able to take down the town center with a big push on that spot there. But I feel like Ulysses is just falling further and further behind. He's actually cut Centaur as well while taking all of his villagers off of the temple here. Another option which might seem absolutely crazy is to just grab all his villagers and villager Ragnarok the town center with his army to boot, given this town center has just come up. Could be an option. Ulysses is 94 population and Superafim is at 90 population, so he doesn't really have that advantage to make that happen. But losing these barracks here is going to slow Superafim down a fair bit, as we see a couple more barracks coming up on the back here, and the villagers grabbing the hunt in the center of the map there as well. Do we see an armory? We do have an armory up here for Superafim. I don't know if he wants to get himself some upgrades here. It's always a bit of a difficult question. When do you get those upgrades? I think getting Pierce upgrades here wouldn't go astray just because you have all those Toxotes there to take out your Spearmen a little bit quickly. So having those Pierce upgrades would help out to kind of stand up to that fire there to allow those Slingers to get in and snipe them before your Spearmen all fall. But we'll see what he's going to pick there as the farm's now starting to come down a little bit on the early side here. But Ulysses does sneak some Aurochs up on this position there as well. As the villagers here getting pushed back. Nice retreat away there from Superafim. He's going to pull into his town. And he does end up losing a villager there, but I'm not sure how much it matters here as, well, Ulysses has to kill off a town center. And the longer this game goes, the further Superafim's economy is going to get in front here, as we do see the town center now getting targeted down. Villagers coming through as well. Villagers retreating away. The army of Superafim making the move in here. Is this going to be enough here for Ulysses, or will Superafim be able to defend as the villagers turn around, starting to repair this one? Toxotes coming over here to snipe the villagers down. Mercenary cavalry going to be a bit of a help with those priests being really, really slow here. This has allowed Ulysses to just take that town center down and pick up a whole bunch of villagers really, really easily here. And not only that, Ulysses could also retreat away if he so chooses, but it looks like Superafim's army just not cut out for it just yet. This is a big win now for Ulysses. He really didn't lose all too much to kill that town center off, and now he's going to get himself that second town center for himself. Picking off 7 villages does also kind of equalize the game, so to speak, villager count-wise. Let's actually see how far behind he is at the moment. He's behind by about 5-6 villages, which really doesn't matter that much given the difference in villager gather rate here for Greek versus Egyptian. Yes, you do have the Pharaoh helping out somewhere, but in fact, what is he doing? What is the Pharaoh doing? I don't see a Pharaoh anyways. There it goes. So he's empowering 12 villages. So 12 villages basically gathering the same rate or a little bit faster than the Greek villages. Kind of does mean that the economy is basically equal here, so to speak. As now Ulysses is spreading out on the map. The early game here from Superafim went really, really well, but he has sort of stagnated here. As now it's clicking up through Netflix. There's still ceasefire remaining here for Ulysses to use as well, which is going to be which is going to put a big stop to the Ancestors' potential. A big stop for the Ancestors' potential. Timing attacks coming for the set player. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Villagers are going to sneak forward. I think in the back of Superafim's mind, he knows that if he doesn't get Fortitude Town Center advantage, he's going to have a difficult time. As we do see the Hippocon manage to push off this gold mine. The nice retreat here, good, nice and early from Superafim. But the town center going to come up here. And now Ulysses has to figure out where to get damage done, or basically what to do here. Because Ulysses is still kind of stuck in the classical age. He's at full population, which means he's not building villages. Going to snipe off a couple of barracks here as well, as the army is slightly out of position here. And the Hippocon's still searching around for something to kill. But he can kill off this town center very, very quickly. So that Scorpion does not want to hang around here. It's a very valuable raiding unit there, as well as the villagers get spotted over here. Superafim still biding his time. Migdol Stronghold coming up on this spot. Is he going Mythic Age? No, he doesn't have the resources to do that. Ancestors does get dropped down. Do you really want to use Ceasefire here? You can just retreat, and then you can use Ceasefire for a potential Tornado defense. as Ulysses doesn't get the town center kill, but he does get Superafim to waste that Ancestors. So nice play here from Ulysses. He's still got a ways to go in this game to equalize, so to speak. I mean, he's kind of in an okay spot, but we do see Apollo coming through as well, which is going to mean an underworld passage to potentially take this town center himself, or even hitting this position as well, or hitting down the bottom here onto this position, those positions there. Just getting some raids in and really hurting the economy of Superafim in this game. Superafim, he's got some walls up, but he could definitely do with getting some more walls to kind of reduce the ability of Ulysses to raid him. As the Scorpion Man coming back into this fight there. Odysseus is tracking this one, trying to pick that off as we do see the town center getting the eyes on that there. The idea of I definitely think he's got an idea to kind of underworld over here and try and grab this position for himself. And he does decide to go for it. There's the villagers coming in. He's got that ceasefire if he needs to. But if he clicks that, we'll definitely start seeing a Mythic Age coming in. And look at this from Superafim. He's got 48 villagers on gold. What's he going to do with this? With Shaft Mine as well. What's he going to do with this? He's going to buy food and go to the Mythic Age here. And then he's going to be able to tornado this town center down. As the villager gets taken out there. Slingers are managing to take out a lot of those Toxotes there, but the Manticore are going to come in. This unit shreds those Slingers in a big, big way here. Ulysses can definitely take this fight if he so chooses. Not only that, he's going to decide to retreat through or move through the Underworld Passage to try and take this fight here, pick off a couple of villagers as the army pops out. Superafim does notice what's going on there as he decides to retreat away a little bit late there. The market up in the corner of the map somewhere. No, he gets two markets up at once. Lots and lots of gold in the bank here. Ulysses here a little bit struggling for resources, but he's got 112 population, or favor in the bank, I should say, not population, 112 favor, so he can pump out Manticores if he wants. They are really, really good here, but they're quite expensive. So we'll see if that's something he wants to do. As the villagers coming over here wanting to grab this gold mine. A little bit crazy to walk through this army, but he's going to be doing it nonetheless. As the units here pushing forward. The villager's going to dive into the town center there as well. But at the moment, Ulysses has 3 town centers. He's in a decent spot, but he's got a challenge in front of him, which is going to be this Horus coming. Tornado on this spot picks off not only the town center, but also the Underworld Passage. So what Ulysses needs to do, as we do see some siege towers coming through here, there's a lot of resources going to go down the drain here for Superafim if he loses those siege towers. But what Ulysses needs to do is get himself fortified town centers and masons here. As the hoplites coming in to take out the Migdol stronghold, we do have a handful of ranged units coming over here to defend, but they aren't the best against these hoplites with all of those slingers. Yeah, the chariot archers are pretty good, but the Migdol stronghold is going to go down, and this is going to make this position a little bit difficult to defend. But Superafim is just like, I don't need food, and why would I need food and wood when I can just have 50 villagers on gold to make mercenaries? Why would I need it? That's why? I don't have a good reason. I don't have a good excuse for it. Just put everyone on gold. Why not? You can buy wood. If he needs wood, just buy wood. It's totally fine. And that also means he can spam out Migdol strongholds, but he does only have the one monument, so he's limited by favor in a bit there, as Ulysses is going to attempt to get to that Mythic Age himself here. And with Horus coming through, Tornado onto this spot here, Superafim might be able to get himself that 4-2 town center advantage, but I imagine that Ulysses will be able to get himself the Mythic Age in pretty quick smart here, as Horus does come through. Tornado gets dropped down. Underworld Passage definitely going to be falling. These villages are all going to get caught out over here. And without any upgrades, especially without having masons here, the town center is also going to fall. But the thing is here, Ulysses has got the villagers. If he can click the ceasefire and grab this one, it's going to be... No, he can't get there. It's going to be close. The villagers coming into Shank as he does stop the town center from going up. And he does click ceasefire. He gets it back. 9 villagers here to get the town center up. Ceasefire is in. And Hephaestus is on the way. If I'm completely honest right now, I feel like Hera is the better call in this exact moment. Though, I mean, obviously, maybe not obviously, Hephaestus is going to... You're basically always going to win if you go Hephaestus and you just kind of hold town centers. But in this spot, this town center is a little bit precarious position. He has to get this position under control as well. But we'll see how things are going to go as the raids are going to start coming through here. There's no bolt for the Avenger. Those rhinos are pretty strong. We don't see Feral in the unique upgrade for set to boost those rhinos a set. So potentially Ulysses can just utilize his villagers to shoot these bad boys down. But we'll see how he's going to go. The other problem here for this position for Ulysses is he doesn't have any military buildings over here to reinforce. So he's going to lose these units and then he's going to lose the town center. And he's getting raided while this is all going on. So Ulysses, maybe not the best of decisions to ceasefire and grab this town center back for himself here. But we'll see how things are going to go. As the Mythic Age does hit here. And he attempted a Bellerophon potentially to come out of this town center. Kind of a little bit lacking on gold here as the Avenger is roaming around. We don't see any fortress up. And in fact, Ulysses' gold income here is the thing that's really, really struggling here. As the new Avenger comes over here, Ulysses got the resources to get himself getting Forge of Olympus. Got the resources to get himself the Bellerophon out as well to deal with this these Avengers that are getting the raids in. But he hasn't clicked up to it just yet, as he does end up losing his town center. This is a big, big timing now or a big point in the game here now for Superafim, because if he can get this town center back and he can start putting pressure up to this top position where all the gold and the trade route is, that's where things are going to get a little bit challenging here. But it looks like Ulysses is going for those Colossi at the moment, and those are going to be very, very challenging here for Superafim to deal with. He does have 4 priests out. He does have funeral rites. He does have the priest upgrade, Hands of the Pharaoh. Another upgrade I wouldn't mind seeing coming in for Superafim is the cheaper priest upgrade with Spirit of Mart, just because it makes them so much cheaper to spam out, which can definitely help out in these sorts of positions here. As a fortress is coming up, the Heracles on the case of this Avenger for the time being here. As the priest going after that Colossus, a little bit weak here at the moment. 160 population, just about to be 180 population. The catapults here kind of sitting a little bit idle, as we do have a little bit of a raid now onto this gold mine. This is something that Ulysses has been letting Superafim get away with for the majority of this game, is these bottom gold mines on the map. They were pretty much not easy to kill, but opened and able to get killed here in this game. But it looks like he's finally got onto getting a little bit of damage done. But Ulysses, 130 population, losing houses here. It does have these Colossi out. We'll see if he's going to be able to utilize those to push forward. But while this is going on, Superafim's already got himself 10 priests out. Now, yes, these priests, they're a little bit slow to kill off these Colossi. But the big advantage here for Greek in this spot is not having the Colossus. So he can actually, all he needs to do is get himself upgrades, get to 140 population, and delete those Colossi, and he should be able to push through this army relatively easily, especially if he gets out of Heliopolis as well. And then once the priests get taken out, then he can start building those Colossi again. It's a little bit of ebb and flow in the matchup, so to speak, as we do have the Bellerophon coming out here for Ulysses, but he's just losing so much stuff here so quickly. And not only that, this town center is falling on this position as well. Villagers coming through to try and shank down those catapult there. Ulysses are down to 100 population, losing this town center, losing the hometown center as well. And in that position here, Ulysses overextends too much, and he does have to tap out. GG. Well played by Superafim here. I mean, when it comes down to it, this was a really, really weird game. We see Ulysses going for an offbeat strategy with the centaur, and we see Superafim going for an offbeat strategy with the barracks. Funnily enough, if you go barracks here, you could just drop a town center and have your Jason and Odysseus defending it. If you scout it out as the Greek player, that is, you can literally just leave your Jason Odysseus here on this spot, get the town center up. The spearman actually probably not going to be able to win this fight and kill off the town center. Town center gets up. You just play a little bit defensive. If he does shifting sands your heroes away, you can just ceasefire and it still goes up, no problems. Because the classical fight does really slow the set player down, and you can just hit a better timing into the mid game to defend against any sort of ancestors attacks coming in or anything like that. But with Ulysses kind of going for a centaur play, which almost counters a more fast second town center idea from the set player. I don't know if it counters, but it's offbeat. It changes up the whole kind of pace of the game, so to speak. Things got weird here, and Ulysses, while he was able to kill off this town center, he didn't control this one as well, and then having to grab this back town center over here kind of just put Ulysses into a position where he couldn't defend himself. Now, if he didn't lose the underworld passage, potentially put the underworld passage a little bit further away from the town center, maybe then the tornado would have just killed the town center. He would have been able to pull units through from his defensive, from his position over here where he had the underworld, would have been able to put them through there, and then he would have been able to continue here and defend this town center. But without having those reinforcements, it's just a matter of time for that town center to fall there. So well played by Superafim to kind of recognize that was a possibility for him. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.